Hi guys, it's been a long time no see. It's been busy. So the last time I saw you guys, I did a March TBR. Unfortunately, some things came up. I had to switch jobs, and the job that I'm in now requires me to be a CNA, so I've been studying for my CNA test pretty hard. So I haven't really been able to read, but this month I really want to start to get back since it is going to be the start of my spooky season this time. We're going to be starting in September all the way into October, and my test was coming up the 13th. So hopefully I passed my test and we are going to be starting reading some books again. And I've really missed reading, and that's pretty much it that's been going on. And I work 12-hour shifts now. So my schedule actually gives me more room to wiggle and a little bit more time for reading and doing all the other stuff that I love to do. So it's actually a plus for me. So this new job I really love, and it's actually really amazing. So we're gonna get started into my TBR, you guys, and we are gonna be reading some spooky books. Some of them were on my last TBR, but I didn't get to read them because everything just kind of happened. So we're gonna get into those and let's get started. Okay, so the first book is gonna be Surviving the Night by Riley Sager. I haven't read this one yet, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard from a lot of people is like No Exit, and I really like that book quite a bit, so hopefully this one lives up to standards. I have not really had a really bad Riley Sager book so far, so let's see what it's about. Josh, the man behind the wheel, is a stranger to Charlie. They met at the campus ride board, each looking to share a long drive home to Idaho. Both have good reasons for wanting to get away. For Charlie is guilt and grief over the shocking murder of her best friend, who became the third victim of the man known as the campus killer. For Josh, it's just to help care for his sick father, or so he says. The longer she sits in the passenger seat, the more Charlie notices there's something suspicious about Josh. From the holes in his story about his father to how he doesn't want her to see the inside of the trunk as they travel an empty, twisty highway in the dead of night. An increase in anxiety, Charlie begins to think that she is sharing a ride with the campus killer. Is Josh truly dangerous, or is Charlie jittering mistrust merely a figment of her movie fuel imagination? One thing is certain, Charlie has nowhere to run and no way to call for help. Trapped in a terrifying game of cat and mouse playing out on a pitch black road in the lit parking lot, Charlie knows that only way to win is to survive the night. This one sounds pretty good. And by the end of it, you guys, I'm gonna tell you which one you're gonna see me like first read. So that's why we're going through these. Night Swim, I had on my last TBR, which I didn't get to read. It says, ever since her true crime podcast became an overnight sensation and set an innocent man free, Rachel has become a household name and the last hope for people seeking justice. But she's used to being recognized for her voice, not her face, which makes it all the more unsettling when she finds a note on her car windshield addressing to her, begging for help. The new season of Rachel's podcast has brought her to a small town being torn apart by a devastating rape trial. A local golden boy, a swimmer destined for the Olympic greatness, has been accused of raping the beloved granddaughter of the police chief. Under pressure to make Season 3 a success, Rachel throws herself into the investigation, but the mysterious letter keeps coming. Someone is following her, and she won't stop until Rachel finds out what happened to her sister 25 years ago. Officially, Jenny Steele tragically drowned, but the letter insists that she was murdered, and when Rachel starts asking questions, no one in town wants the answer. The past and present start to collide as Rachel uncovers startling connections between the two cases and revelations that will change the course of the trial and the lives of everyone involved. Sounds interesting. Okay, and the next one I started reading and then I stopped. Not because it was bad or anything like that, just because I had to switch jobs and I lost one of my iPods because I have two iPods and I lost it somewhere and I don't know what I did with it, and the audiobook was on there, so I stopped reading it, but I am gonna reread it. I had like this much left, and then yeah, everything happened. So it's gonna be in the Darkness by Mike O'Meara. And this one is an online video of a girl crawling out of the ceiling of her own grave, coming to the worst thing the FBI forensic Zoe Bentley has ever seen. Perhaps even more disturbing is the implication of the video titled Experiment 1. Zoe and her partner, Special Agent Tatum Gray, work as fast as they can to find the monster behind the shocking video. But soon another one shows up online. Another girl turns out dead. Meanwhile, a different murder is on Zoe's mind. Rode Grover has been tormenting her since since her childhood, and his latest attack is a threatening photo of himself with Zoe's sister. Grove threats creep towards action. Zoe's torn between family and duty. Zoe must think fast to prevent another murder with her own family's safety on the line. Zoe feels like she's never been in more danger, and while she's always known her job could send her into an early grave, she always assumed she would be dead first. What I remember from this book, I really liked it. But like I said, I stopped reading it. I was really close to the end. But that's all I really remember. Because like I said, it was like months ago. I think it was back in 2021. So it's been a bit. So one of the ones I definitely want to read. A lot of these, especially like Surviving the Night, gives me like Halloween vibes. And so does Into the Darkness. Like, you guys know I read a lot of books about serial killers for some reason, because it's like a thriller and I love those books. There's also another one by Mike O'Meara that we are going to read. So for this month, I'm reading a total of 4 books. I'm kind of this is kind of short for me because I usually read about 16 to 18 books in a month. However, I'm also still studying for my CNA test, so I figured this one was gonna be kind of short, and my October TBR might be a little bit longer. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things right now. The last book on my list is going to be Thicker Than Blood by Mike O'Meara. This one I haven't touched, haven't read yet. And it's by the same author, obviously. It's a series. So this one, a murderer who drinks his victim's blood, FBI profiler Zoe Bentley and Agent Tatum Gray thought they've seen it all. But this young woman, Barbara's murder is especially hard to stomach. They don't expect to work this case, but vampirism aside, the murderer's MO is identical that to Rode Grover, the serial killer who's been pursuing Zoe since childhood. Forensic reveals the murder to be his work, but not his alone. To fulfill his sick purposes, he has taken on an equally depraved partner. Zoe's own frustration grows after another woman turns up dead and drained, and another goes missing. Time is running out. Zoe knows her own death will be the climax of Grover's sinister play, which has been unfolding for 20 years. To stop Grover and his partner, she needs to plummet deep into her motivations. but that means drawing even closer to becoming another casualty of a dark, twisted thirst. I like this. See, I like the sound of this one because I love vampire books. So, and I know he's not technically a vampire, but anything like with like vampirism in it, like it really makes me very excited. So I'm kind of excited to read this one. So I'm gonna tell you which which one I'm gonna read first, and I think my heart, I'm gonna go with Surviving the Night by Riley Sager. So this one will be coming up on my YouTube list as soon as I finish reading it. It will be up, and I will decide the next book I read. But as always, guys, thanks for liking and subscribing. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you. I'm officially back, and I'm going to be officially reading some awesome books, and I can't wait to share this with you guys. One thing, real quick, I was going to do The Nothing Man by Catherine Howard, but I decided to DNF it. I got about 205 pages in, and I was hoping for it to be a little bit more. It wasn't bad, but it also was very, very slow for me. And it was that book is more character driven, and I know that there's like it gives you like insight to the serial killer and everything like that, and I just couldn't get into it. Like, honestly, I gave it to 205 pages, and I was kind of really disappointed in it because I thought there was going to be more suspense, more kind of like gore, I should say, but really not. And I wasn't really impressed with it. So I decided to DNF it. If I ever come back to it, I haven't decided yet, but as of right now, I have no plans. But so originally the first one was supposed to be The Nothing Man, but like I said, I didn't DNF it because I wasn't really happy with it. So that is everything, you guys. And as always, please like and subscribe. And you guys, as always, have a good and safe day. Bye.